Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fall River Media News. I'm your host, Dave Mead. Today, um, you know, what led me to come on today is because I wanted to, what led me to come on today was I was up at Ellsbury Street and, I went to Dunkin' Donuts and, and then I saw the sign, Connolly High School, the former Bishop Connolly High School, and and I, so I said, you know what? I said when I go home, um, I'm gonna actually talk about this because I think um, that you know that I can't believe it though. I mean, but nothing amazes me. Okay, nothing does. Um, and the Bishop Connolly High School campus of the city of Fall River was agreed to purchase it for a property of 29.8 million, $8 million. So that's included the school building, the athletic field, the addition to it. So, but with all this, okay, and everything I've seen so far, okay, they if they could approve, okay, the 29.8 million, okay, for a school, why couldn't they approve 28.8 million for the infrastructure, okay, the for the infrastructure? So I mean, this doesn't make any sense at all, okay, and if you look at it, okay, I post our infrastructure, okay, our streets got big potholes in it, okay, and here they are approved 29.8 million for Bishop Connolly High School, okay. So why couldn't they have that money, okay, go towards the infrastructure? It doesn't make any sense, okay. Even City Councilor Chris Peckham said it doesn't make any sense. And one of the councils that approved this budget, okay, was Michael Canuel. Okay, that was one of the councils. So if they can approve 29.8 million, why couldn't they approve the 29.8 million for the infrastructure? So I I want to know if this makes sense to anybody. Okay. So as a taxpayer of the city, as a taxpayer, and everyone else out there too, as a taxpayer, I like to know, okay, does this make sense to you? Does this make sense? Them proving that 29.8 million. No, it doesn't make any sense. So if that made any sense to me, I'll tell you, I mean, then there's something wrong with my math. But 29.8 million, all that money could have went for the infrastructure. That's what it could have did. It could have went for infrastructure. And I don't understand why that didn't even go to for the infrastructure. I mean, every side street, Crooked Street, look up on my Facebook page. You'll see it. holes this big. The infrastructure is all cracking. Okay. Uh, if you go down to Rodman Street, same thing. Holes there. Quikasham going all the way from the top all the way into the middle where Ricky Tiff's business is in that area and all the way down. Okay. I mean, you got the whole entire sidewalk. Okay. Um, the whole entire street is totally how they say it, it's going. Okay. And and it seems like to me that the politicians, okay, well, I say Mayor Paul Coogan. I would say, the rest of the city council except for Christopher Peckham, because Christopher Peckham was the only one did not approve this 29.8 million. Okay, he did not approve it. Michael Canuel is the one that approved this 29.8 million, and I'm not going to say, but shame on him, okay, for approving this budget. Okay, shame on Sean Kadim, shame on Linda Pereira, shame on whoever else decide to approve this, except for Christopher Peckham. Okay, I mean that 29 million could have. I want to say could have been used for infrastructure. Okay, that's what it could have been used for, and it's a shame. Okay, that how they do anything without our acknowledgement. Okay, and this is why we hold these people accountable. Okay, because I mean, first off, it's our money. Okay, it's our tax money. Okay, it's not theirs, it's ours. So, and this is why we decide to hold people accountable for this. Okay, I mean, many people said it. Okay, the 29.8 million, why didn't it go for the infrastructure? That 29.8 million would have covered, okay, everything. Okay, potholes. Okay, machineries to come out. Okay, paving the streets, fixing them. Okay, and relining them again. Okay, so and also, I want to say that I want to hold people accountable because some of the people in the city of Fall River vote for these people back in, just like they did in the last election when the 11%, okay, turnout, okay, when Sam Sutter was running, okay, 11% turnout, okay, and let me tell you this, okay, and then when Boomer ran for mayor, yeah, people came out and vote. Still, Boomer was only short at about 200, about two something, okay, in the votes, okay. Boomer would have been mayor if you guys would have came out and voted for him, okay. But instead, you guys voted for Mayor Paul Coogan. Thought you were going to get a different outcome, okay. But now you see for your eyes that you're not getting a different outcome, okay. You're not. You're not getting a different outcome. Now you see what is going on, okay, out there. Okay. Well, I mean, I that the reason why I say I'm going to hold people accountable, okay, for not taking responsibility and voting for a different administration, okay. And again, we wouldn't be having this problem, okay, and we wouldn't be having this conversation, okay. So that's why I am going to hold some of you is accountable for it because the people didn't go out there and vote. You guys didn't go out there and vote at all. Okay, you think that, oh, things are going to change. No, things are not going to change. Not with the same not with the Coogan administration. Okay, it's not going to change. Okay, you know, it's frustrating to say, okay, that if you think, okay, that you're going to have the same outcome, you're going to have the same outcome with the Coogan administration. Okay, and it's fair to say that I have to hold some of you accountable for not, doing your duties and fulfilling your obligations to the city of Fall River as taxpayers. Okay, it's fair to say. Some of you voted for Boomer, some of you voted for Coogan. So, I mean, and I hear complaints every day out there. Okay, people come up to me and tell me, and I ask them, who'd you vote for? Oh, I voted for Coogan. Oh, you voted for Coogan? So, well, here we are, having a conversation again about it, about the infrastructure, where that we could have had a different administration. Okay. I aspire a lot of people out there that want change, but I also inspire a lot of people out there that don't want the change and wants to keep the same administration, thinking that they're going to have a great outcome. So, I mean, the people that make that the people that want that change, we have to make that change. The people that want it. The people that don't want that change is the ones that are going to keep complaining all the time and saying, oh, Coogan this and Coogan that. I mean, if you're going to keep complaining about change and you're the one that's not making that change and making that difference, I don't want to listen to you. But I will listen to the ones that want to change. So, with that being said, so we need to change administrations. More Healy, same thing. Look what's happening to the state. Okay? Look how much money she spent so far. Okay? She even denied the audit. Okay? Cal Fiola denied the audit. Senator Michael Rodrigues also denied the audit. What do you think? We are going to forget this? No. We want the audit. Okay? We want it. It passed 72%. It belongs to us. Okay? Cal Fiola does not have a say into anything. Okay? She don't have a say. Okay? Know why? Because she's a tyrant. That's what she is. She's a tyrant. Okay? Okay? A tyrant, corrupt, and everything else. They don't want us to know where the rest of the money's going. Okay? You know why? Because they're pocketing the money. That's why they're pocketing the rest of the money for themselves. That's why they don't want us to know where the money is. That's why they don't want the audit. Okay? So, you know what? I've already figured that out. Okay? You know why? Because I looked it up. I researched it because they don't want us to know where the money's going because the audit, okay, the forensic audit will reveal where the money's going. And you know what? And Cal Fiola is afraid to go to jail, and so is MIILION, and so is Michael Rodriguez. Okay, so what they'll do is like Michael Rodriguez did. Okay, and Boomer was right on point with that. They're gonna throw money at you. They're gonna throw money at you. That's what they're gonna do. Okay, and that's how they do it. They'll throw money at you. Once you're on to them, they will throw money at you. So how can you how can you not know that? You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're throwing money at us, so they're coming up with something better. They're promising. You know something? The reason why they promise you things, so that way they can keep their seat. That's why. I've been around politics for too long to understand. Okay, and I've done my research. That's how politics is. Okay, Michael Rodriguez will throw money at you just to keep his seat, and that's how Michael Rodriguez is. Okay, you know, promises, promises, promises. He'll promise you the world, but once he gains his seat back, you don't hear from him. Same thing with Cal Fiola. She'll promise you the world, then guess what? You'll never hear from her again. The only time you would hear from her and Senator Michael Rodriguez is on election day, state election. Okay. Same thing with Governor MIILION. Promises, promises. Of course they're gonna. Of course they're gonna try to, lower the taxes for us. Of course. Again, okay. They want their seat. That's why, because they know that we are on to them. We are on to them with the forensics of 72% that passed. We are on to them. They know we are. Okay, they know, and that's why that they're gonna do everything they can to keep their seat. And we don't. And you know something? The only time they'll promise something is when their seats are up for grab, and when they know that they have three strong candidates running against them. So they'll do everything they can. So that's why we don't want any more broken promises. Okay? We want a safe city. Okay? That's what we want. We talked about double murders. Unbelievable. Okay? Now, all of a sudden, Mayor Paul Coogan cares. Where when all the other shooters and stuff that was going on in the city and all the stabbings and all for the last couple of years, we didn't hear from him. But now, all of a sudden, he's standing along with District Attorney Quinn. He's standing alongside of him. So now all of a sudden he cares. Now, after all this other time, when former Mayor Will Flanagan was stabbed, stabbed and was in critical condition, he turned to Mayor Paul Coogan turned around and called us. We exaggerate. How in the world How in the world are we exaggerating? Okay, we're not exaggerating. It's true facts. The guy stabbed him, and Will was in critical condition. So How in the world can we exaggerate? That's impossible. That's impossible to exaggerate something like that. It's impossible. Oh, the Bank Street Army. Yeah. Well, the Bank Street Army too. Um, Matter of fact, Jared Carson just brought that up. Okay, let's talk about the Bank Street Army. So, what are we gonna do with the Bank Street Army? So, what are we gonna do about the Bank Street Army? So, we could do a few things, right? We can fix it up inside, make it out of a homeless shelter. That's big enough because we've got a lot of homeless people out there. So, um, we have a lot of homeless, so we can make a homeless shelter out of that. Of course, I think. You know what I'm saying? There's another good idea. Well, yeah, yeah, of course, yeah. Nothing would ever put it past me. Not would put it past me. Past that. Bank Street Army, yeah, of course, yeah, of course. Hey, yeah, he wants it to rot and fall apart even more. So we can make a homeless shelter out of that, or we can make another recreation out of that. You know what I'm saying? So, Bank Street Army, the Bank Street Army needs to be an event center. Yeah, of course. Yeah, event center. Why not? You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, there is a lot of such ideas we can do with Bank Street Armory. Of course, Bank Street Armory. As a matter of fact, I think I actually drew by there. I drew by there. I wanted to go down there, but I went straight up Bank Street on my e-bike and stuff. But I might just probably end up going by there at some point, and talk about the infrastructure there too, what it needs and stuff. I believe the Bank Street Army needs a roof. It needs some fixing inside. You know what I'm saying? So um, I don't know how much it's going to cost. Probably, maybe, uh, if, with the damages over there, probably to fix it, maybe, and to get it back up running, probably 28.9 million, just to fix it. You know what I'm saying, um, just to fix it up, maybe. Fix the roof. Probably the roof itself probably goes about maybe uh, about 2 million, easy. 2.1 million. The roof. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. You know what I'm saying, right now I'm just throwing numbers out there. You know, and I mean the Bank Street Armory is it should be a needs to be an event center for people to go in, enjoy themselves. You know, but again, $29.8 million was spent on Bishop Connolly High School. Instead of some of that money going for infrastructure, some of that money could have went from the Bank Street Armory too, as well. Some of that money could have covered the infrastructure, and the rest of it could have covered the Bank Street Armory, right? So I'm just taking a guess. But you know, these people, okay, these people, well, especially Michael Canuel, and I was actually shocked to hear him pass this, agreed to pass 29.8 million. I was like, huh? When I heard that he agreed to pass that with the other city councilors. Okay, he could have denied that budget. Okay, all right. He could have said, "Hey, look, you know what? Infrastructure. Okay, infrastructure needs to be worked on. Okay, Bank Street Armory needs to be so half of that 29.8 million could have would have covered the Bank Street Armory, and also would have covered the infrastructure, okay, that we have, okay, that needs to get done. But no, they don't want to do that. They bought us. They bought Bishop Connolly High School for 29.8 million, and they made their decision. Okay, so shame on Canuel and the rest of the city councilors, except for Christopher Peckham, because he's the only one that did not vote on that on this 29.8 million. Okay, it's a shame. Shame on some of them councilors. Okay, for doing it. Okay, and these are the people that you want in office. Okay, these are the people you like. These are the people you cherish, like Mayor Paul Coogan. Huh. Wow. I mean, if if people complain about I want this and I want that, okay? If you want good things, you know, you have a duty to fulfill. It's your duty, okay? Your duty is to go out there and vote, okay? As the best of your knowledge under the Constitution of the United States, okay? You have that, okay? You have that right to choose, okay? And but now we're in a state election now. Don't make that mistake. We need to get rid of Healy. This she her and some of the city councilors, but right now it's not city election, it's state election. So we need to get rid of Healy, and we need to get rid of Alan Sylvia, and we need to get rid of Cal Fayola and Michael Rogers. Okay, because you know if we have a different administration, you're going to see the results. You will see that results. Okay, and I've went through this many times with you guys. Okay, the results are there. Okay, you just got to make a move and say, okay, do we want Michael Rogers here? No. Do we want Cal Fiola back in his seat? No. Do we want Alan Sylvia back in his seat? No. Okay. You know, making that. Do we want Healy back in her seat? No, we don't. We have, I think, two or three good candidates out there running for governor of Massachusetts. Okay. I believe that one of them, and I think one of them would be Brian Shortsleeve. I don't know the other one. I haven't even seen the other one. But I mean I like Brian Shortsleeve's ideas. Okay, you know it's I like his ideas. Okay, because Brian Shortsleeve tells us what he wants to do and what he's going to do. Okay, yeah. So, but I would prefer Brian Shortley for now. You know what I'm saying, and see what other see what others come up. But I'm gonna tell you though, you guys can Brenda, you guys can make your decision. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to make that change in the state in the state. Okay, you know I feel that my where I live, I feel that there is nothing here but crime. Okay, same thing with the double shooting. Okay, the double murder that went on. Okay, people talk about it all the time. People are scared. People are tired of the nonsense. So if you're tired of the nonsense, maybe you guys can show some heart and show some love and make a change for the people. Not only for the people, but for you, your family, and everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? And your future grandkids. Do you want your future grandkids, okay, live in, you know, a world that's double murders, stabbings, shootings? Okay. Do you really want that? You know what I'm saying? I don't. My grandkids don't. And I'll do everything I can to protect them. Okay. And that's what I'll do. And I'll do everything I can to protect my family as long as I'm here. Okay. So why don't we just all, well, I, I have my ups and downs with Jazel. And Jazel, I had my ups and downs with him. Um, when Jazel was mayor of City of Fall River, yeah, he did some good things. You know, he even congratulate me on Market Basket, which is that was the first mayor in history that would ever congratulate me on something. But to me, it wasn't all about winning. Okay, it wasn't all about winning a city council seat. It was all about getting business going here in the city of Fall River. That's what it was about. Okay, and that's what I was focusing on. Believe it or not. So, with that being said, let's focus back on the double murder that happened here in the city of Fall River. Let's focus on that a bit. So, was this guy from Nigeria? Was this guy from Brazil? Was this guy an immigrant? I heard that this guy owned a house. I heard this guy had a good job. So, whether if that's true or not, I don't know. Okay, so um, you know, there is conflicted stories going on, like everything else. So, uh, and that's why when I go out, I carry a camera on the side of me. I carry a camera here, okay, which is called my body cam, and it records everything, okay. And when we talk about the double murder that happened, people come out and say, and people would be talking, oh, well, this happened at my sister's house, or near my sister's house. This happened across the street, okay? Or, even stabbings, okay? Even a stabbing, right? Oh, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, whoa, wow, it was gruesome. Well, just like the double murder, it was gruesome. When somebody gets stabbed in the back of the neck by, with a pitchfork and get hit with a brick and then all of a sudden, boom, and then all of a sudden you got a guy laying on the ground full of blood. So, I mean, is the guy guilty? We don't know. They got somebody in custody. Okay, I can't say whether if he's guilty or not because he hasn't been tried yet. Right now, he's being held without bail. Okay, so that's how bad our city's getting. We the people, we need to get a handle on our city, because right now things are out of control. Okay, and I don't care what Mayor Paul Coogan says, but he doesn't know. Okay, the people like us, when we go out there, we see what goes on. Okay, things are out of control out there, really bad. Okay, for the last few weeks, I would say the Fall River Police Department nonstop. That's what I would say. So I would say the police department nonstop. So Jared Carson just mentioned something here. So do you remember Jazel? Well, I do remember Jazel. Okay, I do remember him. Okay, I do remember Jazel, and and I met Jazel when the former mayor was a city councilor before he became mayor. I remember supporting Jazel and voting for him when he did run for mayor of the city of Fall River, because we always thought that maybe, hey, instead of having an older mayor, why don't we have a younger mayor? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he'll make a difference with the youth, like with the young adults that we have, right? Well, he's did some good things, but when the owl came up, the owl app came up, we didn't care so much about that because it wasn't enough for us. Okay, but as soon as he started digging his hands in a cookie jar, that's when the people of the city of Fall River started looking into things. Okay, and things got worse and worse. Things got worse, and things kept on getting worse. The owl app came up. People were saying that he owned money for investors. Okay, and and we held back on that too, because it wasn't enough for us to can him out of office. But soon as it was the people saying it was the strip club, he was going to casinos, he was taking trips, he was going places with our money, and that was it. And then that's when the people started looking into a lot of things. I remember saying that. So I remember seeing Cliff Ponte, the president of the city council, take Jazel to court. And I remember Pamela LeBeau was standing on the side of him and everything else and helping him out with all this crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Change the locks on the mayor's door and everything so he doesn't get back in. And also I remember him kicking RDA out, Cal Fiola's husband, Ken Fiola, out of the city hall because he wasn't paying any rent, which is he was in a right to do that. So now we have another problem. Okay, now the state representatives that has a office inside the city hall, They don't have to pay rent. They don't have to pay utilities, no nothing. Okay, so what they're doing, okay, is living free rent. They're over there having free rent, free utilities, while the taxpayers pay for it. So that would be Cal Fiola and Senator Michael Rodrigues and Alan Sylvia. Okay, they're in the city hall. They don't pay rent. They don't pay utility bills. It's all free to them. On taxpayers' dime. Okay, believe it or not. Okay, so on taxpayers' dime, believe it or not. Okay, and you know something, and you know, if anybody can tell me different, I'll analyze it and I will get back to if you could tell me different. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But we are the taxpayers. We are the ones that are paying the price. Okay? We are paying the price. And we shouldn't pay the price. We shouldn't at all. We should stand and stick up for ourselves. Okay? And say, hey, look, this is wrong. Okay? For what you're doing. Okay? And this is why I do these shows frequently. You know what I'm saying? But today I went to Dunkin' Donuts with my wife on President Avenue, across the street from Durfee High School, and we had a coffee and donut over there. And when we went to go take the bus, I looked at the sign. Oh, Bishop Connolly High School. Then, you know, and I said, well, you know what? When I get home, I'm going to talk about the 29.8 million. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about it because it's wrong to purchase a school when you've got the most important thing in Fall River. Okay, infrastructure. It's bad as hell. Okay, it is, and the reason why I'm saying it because it is because I remember the next time I get a flat tire, I will be taking a picture of the hole and I will be bringing it to the city hall. And they will be paying for my bike to be fixed. Okay? I paid over almost $400 to get that tire fixed. Okay? And this is no joke. Okay? And maybe, and if they don't want to pay for it, okay, and I will sue. I will sue the city because I'm not playing. Okay? You know, that is a hazardous. Okay? It is a hazardous. It's bad. It's at every street, everyone, every street. Every street in Fall River you can see. If you go on Wade Street, near 200 Wade Street, the side street near 4th Street, it's bad over there. I've been by there so many times because I go and visit my mom. Of course they will not pay for it. Because you want to know why? Of course not. And, you know, people, then you sue. That's all. You get a lawyer and you sue the city. And then they will think twice about getting off their hiney and doing the most important thing instead of worrying about Bishop Connolly High School and wasted 29.8 million of our tax money. Okay? That's a lot. That's a lot of money to be and then they wonder why the taxes go up. Okay? They wonder why. Oh, how come the taxes go up? How come it's going up? How come it is? How come it that? Well, first off, you're giving, you know, you're buying property, and when you buy property, taxes go up, and it falls on the taxpayers. Instead of like, okay, you know what? Let's give the taxpayers, you know, a break. Okay, let's give a tax break to the taxpayers. Okay, let's throw let's put 6 million back in the taxpayers' pockets. But no, they don't do that. Okay? They feel like taking our money and doing what they want with it. And is this the kind of people that you want in office? That's going to throw away money and say, the hell with it. Blow money, let the taxes go up. They don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. And they don't care about what's going on around outside. All they do is think about them. Think about them, their families, their friends, and how much money they can put in their damn pocket. Okay? That's how politics works. But, you have to understand, okay, and say, look, enough is enough. You want to burn money? Well, then we'll burn it for you. We'll burn money for you. You want to waste money? We'll waste it for you. I'm telling it's, these politicians are not worth it. Cal Fiola, Alan Sylvia, state State Senator Michael Rodrigues, and Healy. These people are not worth keeping in office if they're going to spend your money and blow your money and don't care about the taxes. You know, the last time I talked to Alan Sylvia, nobody says, oh, they're blaming us. No, because it's their fault. Okay? It's their fault, okay, that they're doing this. Okay? They're the blame. Okay? Because they're state representatives of the courts. They're the blame for this. Okay? They let this stuff go on and say, hey, no, let's throw back at least let's throw back about $6 billion to the taxpayers. Okay? But let's put it back in their pocket because they need it more than we do. Okay? Or Cal Fiola, hey, look, let's do the same. Let's throw $6 billion back in their pocket because the taxpayer, we need to give them some kind of relief. But no, they don't do it. Okay, Mayor Paul Coogan said it at one time during the mayor's debate. I'll give the taxpayers $6 million back in their pocket. You know what? He's a damn liar. Okay, same thing goes for Alan Sylvia, Michael Rodrigues, Cal Fiola, and Neely. They're a bunch of liars. Okay, no way, because they're Democrats, so they're a bunch of liars. And I don't believe a word they say. Okay? And the only reason why Michael Rodrigues is throwing back money, so that way he can save his hiney and save his seat. That's the only reason. Do you want a senator like that inside to keep his seat? Even Cal Fiola and Alan Sylvia and Moore Healy, you want these people to keep their seat? No. They're not worth it. But I'm just just saying, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, we could stop paying taxes. You know what I'm saying? We can do that. I mean, how easy will that be if we stop paying taxes? So if we don't pay taxes, guess what? They don't get paid. They don't get paid their salary. And how are they going to get paid their salary if we stop paying taxes? Right? So if everyone got together and said, hey, we're not paying taxes no more. So how is Alan Sylvia, Cal Fiola, Michael Rodrigues, Moy Healy, and the mayor, and the city councils, how are they going to get paid their salary? They aren't. They won't. They won't get paid. So we might as well just stop paying taxes then, until they learn that to serve us and not serve themselves. So they got to learn that. So I mean, it's easy to learn. You know, if you're going to serve yourself, if you're going to serve yourself any in if you're going to serve yourself and you're not going to serve the people, right? It, there's no sense of paying taxes, not at all. And this is why I'm out there. Sometimes I'm out there. When I get a chance to, um, I do a public safety for public safety audit. Okay, I want to know what's going on in my city. I want to know. I want my grandkids to be safe. I want my family to be safe. I want my mom to be safe. My mom's still with us. I want her to be safe too. I want my brother to be safe. Okay, and also other families too to be safe. It's not about us. It's about your future grandkids and the people that you care about and love. I mean, let's make a difference. I'm out there making a difference. Hey, I know what goes on out there. Hey, there are a bunch of sickos out there, a bunch of mental cases. I know. But you know what? I'm not afraid. You may be afraid, but I'm not. So if I'm not afraid, let's all get together in a bunch and start a protest in Fall River. Let's all get together. I'm not afraid. Hey, I'll hang with you. Look, I mean, I don't have time to be playing games over here. I don't. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the. This is a serious show. Okay. If you're going to be serious with me, be serious with me. Okay. You know. It. You know. There's stuff that needs to be done here in Fall River. Okay. There is. There's stuff that needs to be done. So again, um, I'm going to actually take a. Well, I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of this and I'm going to post it up on Facebook because I want to switch over to some of the infrastructure and the pictures that I did take. So I'm going to switch over and I want to take a look at, and I'll just take a look at the infrastructure, okay, and and tell me what you think, okay. So I'm going to switch over to some of the infrastructure that we have, okay. Um, all right, okay. So here we go. So look now, you take a look at this infrastructure and you tell me, tell me, does it's bad? It is, okay. Tell me about the infrastructure. It's bad, okay. And I mean, and they got the nerve to spend 29.8 million, and this is what needs to be done, okay. So yeah, well, see, now people left because you want to know why? Because I showed them proof right there. I showed them proof. Okay, there is proof right there that we do need to fix these roads. we do need to line up these lines and stuff, right? So it's crazy. Okay. So 29 billion, $29.8 million should have went to the infrastructure. Then yeah, okay. Then I'll bite. Okay. You can go to some of the money can go to Bank Street Armory. Of course. Why not? You know what I'm saying? And this is why I do the public safety forensic for the public safety audit. Okay, you know, this is why I do it. And I've always said I'm gonna hold politicians accountable. And Michael Canuel, shame on him. I know he's the new city councilor, but shame on him for passing that $29.8 billion. That so I mean, shame on him, for it. So I honestly hope Chris Peckham shares this video, okay? Because this is a live stream of showing what is going on out there in the street. Why are these streets a mess? Why are there big holes in the street? Why? Okay, and why and how come you spent 29.8 million on Bishop Connolly when you know that you had streets to take care of? Well, shame on Canuel. Okay, now shame on Canuel for agreeing to this budget with the other morons that are there. I don't know if Michelle Dion agreed. I don't know. I'll have to ask her. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if she agreed with it. Okay. But you bond 29.8 million for infrastructure. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. For Bishop Connolly High School. You bonded for. Wow. So shame on some of the city councilors, except for Chris Peckham. Okay, because he's the only one that did not vote for this budget. Okay, shame on him. Okay, shame. And you know something though, they're gonna realize later. Wow, how come we didn't, look at the infrastructure first? Maybe some of that money could have went for infrastructure. But no, they didn't. Okay. Again, they did what they want, and they did not care about asking. They did not care about asking the people what we should be doing with it, because we pay their salary and they don't. And again, they don't recognize it. You know why? Because they think, oh, okay, you know what? The taxpayers are not going to care. We do care about where our money gets spent. So we need these streets to get done, okay, so people can be safe walking across the street and not drop into a pothole, okay, all right. So and drop into a pothole and break a leg, okay, because that's not a joke, man. Okay, all this nonsense. I want to tell you, it's disgusting. Okay, it is one of the disgusting things in the world that I could ever imagine. Okay, I don't know how these politicians could sleep at night knowing that that the infrastructure is it's damaging, okay, and ruining people's cars, tires, and everything else and stuff. People go up and say it all the time. I have to replace a tire. I got to replace a muffler. catalytic converter because the government does not want to spend a damn dime on fixing the street. They'd rather spend $29.8 million on Bishop Connolly High School, okay, instead of spending the money on the most important things like infrastructure and Bank Street Armory. Okay, you know, they don't look at that stuff. Okay, they the only thing they look at is one, if they can make money, they'll do it. Okay, if they're not making any money, guess what? They're not going to do it. So, I mean, that is my take on today's show. Because I wasn't going to come on tonight until I went to Dunkin' Donuts and Bishop Conley. Okay, there's something good to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't, and Mayor Paul Coogan is really putting on a tremendous show for the people of Fall River. Okay, the former principal of Derby High School, okay, known as Mayor Paul Coogan. Okay, well, I shouldn't call him mayor because he doesn't. He doesn't even belong to have that title. Okay, all right, Mayor of Fall River. Okay, he knows what he's doing. Oh, by the way, remember I was discussing with you about Mayor Paul Coogan. I went for my transcripts at Derby High School. I got my transcripts. He didn't even really try it. He lied. Okay, so he really lied about the looking for the transcripts. Well, I got my transcripts from Derby High School. I paid $17 to get them. So that's so much how much he can be trusted. Okay. Wow. Stuff like this it's disgusting. Makes me sick. So, with that being said, I will be taking a picture of that and I will post it because it won't. It'll probably be on YouTube, but I really doesn't matter. So it really doesn't matter. I just want to, let you guys take a look at it. You know what I'm saying? So, because it's a video. So I wish Chris Peckham shares my video and takes a look at all this. Okay, but I'm gonna go on Facebook, but I'm gonna actually post more. I totally like posting these things because it shows that I care and it makes a difference. See, look at all this. I mean, it's sad, okay, that knowing that your street, Fall River, a place you call home, has this, okay, disgusting. Shame on the city council. Shame on the mayor of the city of Fall River, okay. Whether people want to hear it, you know what? But you are going to hear it, okay, whether you like it or not, okay, because if you don't want to hear it, I will hold you accountable. Okay. And I will hold you accountable. Okay. Okay. And that I will hold you accountable. Okay. And okay. So, if you don't want to listen to anything I have to say, believe me, I will hold you accountable. And, and holding you accountable will make you realize that something, there is changes that need to be made here in the city of Fall River. Okay, this is a place that I call home. Okay, I don't know about you. I don't know about the rest of you, but this is a place that I call home. Okay, all right. This is a place that I've been brought up for many years. Okay, in the city of Fall River. Okay, when people want to be a bunch of scumbags and don't care about the city of Fall River, then you know what? Then you can move out and go live someplace else, like Beijing or Taiwan or something, or China. Maybe you can make a difference down there and go vote down there and see if you can get away with the stuff down there like you get away with up here. Okay, you won't have the freedom down there like up here. So you know, because there is people out there, okay, that care about Fall River, okay, care about the place that people live. But you got to make that change, okay. You got to make that change. You got to say, hey, do we want this administration or do we not want this administration? Okay, is this administration help? You know what I'm saying? No, the administration is not helping. The uh, the Rogers administration, the Alan Silvey administration, Cal Fiola administration, Healy administration, Coogan administration. None of these people are helping. Okay, none. Okay, this is how they leave our community like this. Okay, and yeah, I will keep fighting for what it's worth it. Okay, and it's also worth fighting for it because my grandkids are involved with this. Involved with the community. Okay, whether you live in Swansea, whether you live in Newport, whether you live in Westport. Okay, okay, Westport still Mass. You're still but you're still a part of this community. Rhode Island is a whole different ballgame over there. So I just, wanted to come on and I wanted to say my piece. And I also wanted to show what, show the pictures, what I've been observing in Fall River for the last couple of days. In work, out of work, and everything else and stuff. Okay. This is what we're dealing with. Okay. We're dealing with that, some of the city councils are scumbags. Okay, some of them are. Okay, all right. And you know something though, and shame on Canuel for approving that 29.8 million. Okay, you know what? He would never ever get my vote again. Okay, so for doing that, he will never ever get my vote again. And Joe Camara, Linda Pereira, they will never get my vote again. Okay, I don't. It's this is not this is not being represented. Okay, all this. Okay, this is not being represented. This is called a bunch of scumbags. Okay, okay, a bunch of tyrants that are in office. Okay, and a bunch of tyrants in the city council, and a tyrant upstairs on the sixth floor in the government center. That'll be Coogan, a tyrant. Okay, Moy Healy, she's another tyrant. Okay, it's pretty sad. Okay, that the people, we pay a lot of taxes, but yet they raise a lot of taxes. Okay, because they buy things that are not really important to the city of Fall River. This is important right here. Okay, this is important. No, it is. It's seriously though. I mean, it is. Okay, all this is important. Okay, and I hope Councilor Peckham shares my video, shares my video as well. You know what I'm saying? No, you're right. Scott Allen Donnelly, none of it does make sense. You're right, and I agree with you 100%. And I showed you what needs to be done. No, I agree with you. Scott. No, I do. I agree with him. You know what I'm saying? I do agree with him because the reason why I agree with him because Scotland Donnelly's right. You know what I'm saying? He is right for 100% right. You know what I'm saying on what is what is going on. So I really actually wanted to um, share this video over to Christopher and see what see what he's got to say about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I'm sure he's he's aware of of what's going on. I'm sure he is. You know, but I mean, he's got to get the majority of the city council to vote. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he's got to do. He's got to get that majority to vote. And his vote will carry. Yeah, he can vote, but he's got to get the majority of the 9 city councils to vote on a on a budget where that that could help the infrastructure. Okay, because it's sad. It's horrible. Okay, the crime in the city too is also horrible. Okay, it's sad. Okay, it is. It is horrible. Okay, and something. I ride my e-bike around. I have a strobe light. I have um, I have a camera on my vest. I also have a camera on my bike. I also have reflectors and everything else and stuff, and I am getting mirrors too on it too as well. You don't believe, man. I mean, you know, and I'll be also taking more pictures. Um, I will also be taking more pictures. Wade Street, and I will. Tomorrow when I go to work, I'm gonna go by Wade Street, and I'm gonna grab a picture of that whole entire street, and I will honestly, and I will post it up on Facebook. Okay, I'll probably take a live video of it. I'm not sure, but we'll see. And because it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is this is shameful. Okay, this is shameful. Okay, what are they gonna do about it? I don't know. Okay, um, I'm sure Christopher Peckham will find a way. Council Christopher, I'm sure he will. Okay, um, I I'm sure he'll find a way because this is people would fall in between potholes. They can and twist an ankle. Okay, what about families that walk across the street with carriages? Okay, you got to think about that. Okay, just don't go there and fill it up. You got to rip up the whole entire street. Okay, got to rip up the whole entire street, and then you got to pave it. Okay, fix it, pave it, do the right thing. Okay, and not only that, you know, um, you know, it's fair to say that you have the utility company that goes there and rips up the street. Okay, and they start messing with things in the ground, and then once they screw up something, then then they then they're like, oh, geez, well, what I messed up a pipe or something. Then you got to send somebody else out dig up the street again. You know what I'm saying? I understand Pleasant Street's getting all new pipes and stuff, but why put in all new pipes when you guys got to rip up the damn street? Okay, got to rip up the street, man. That's it. I mean, you got to rip up the street, okay, and you got to figure out what's going on inside, okay, and then you put the pipes in. Then you pave it. Then you say, hey, good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, about time they no. This is wrong, man. Okay, this is wrong. This is shameful right here. This is like this is like disrespecting our city and disrespecting the people. Okay, uh, people are asking, hey, honor it. Okay, honor the taxpayers. Honor us. Okay, when we're asking for something and we're trying to express our feelings about something here. Okay, honor that. Okay, honor it and say, hey, look, hey, I got pictures of I I got live videos and stuff of all this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what are we going to do about this? You know what I'm saying? But I hope that Christopher Peckham takes my video because I shared it to him. I hope he takes it to the next city council meeting and plays it because I would like to see it when I'm watching the public safety city council. Okay, I would love to see this be played right, right at the city council, and and just tell and let them know that there is infrastructure that needs to be done here in the city of Fall River. So that is my message to the city council. But again, shame on Canuel. I mean, I have nothing against the guy, but shame on him for approving that 29.8 million from Bishop Connolly. So shame on him. Okay, so that one is on him. Okay, because he messed up on that one. Okay, so he did. He messed up bad. That is pretty sad. And it's I thought maybe no, Michael Canuel did good at first, but he should have never voted on that 29.8 million on that. So, and I don't know, maybe he was forced to vote for it. I don't know, because that's something that Sean Kadim will do. You know what I'm saying? Or Linda Pereira, or once the once the first horse says I'll approve it, then the second horse says, all right, so I'm going, and then the third horse says, all right, yeah, I'm going to approve it. You know what I'm saying? So if you got two to three, okay, the eyes are going to win. You know what I'm saying? So, but shame on Canuel for this one, okay? And unless Sean Kadim or Linda Pereira, tell him to say yes to it because he's a new city councilor. So maybe, who knows? But shame. Okay. Shame on Mayor Paul Coogan too for all this nonsense. Okay. But you guys have got to get out there and vote. You know what I'm saying? So this is your last chance. You guys got to get out there and vote. Vote for, because you got some good candidates out there. Okay. For that's running for state representative against the incumbents. And even Healy, you got some good candidates out there. I mean, if you want your city to be better and you want your grandkids to have a good life, well, start changing administrations, because if you don't, your grandkids, your kids, your future kids, or kids are gonna grow up, okay, in a ghetto, okay. So this is what they're trying to make this look like, okay, is a ghetto, okay, and this is what it's becoming, a ghetto, okay, because they don't care about your kids. They don't care what school they go to. They don't care. You know what? You're the only one has to stand and say, hey, I care about my kids. Okay. I care about what school. They don't care about where your kids go, okay, or what school they go to. They go there on graduation time just to make themselves look good. Okay. So I mean, that's what they do. They go there to make themselves look good. act like they're doing something. Oh, congratulations. Oh, congratulations. Oh, congratulations. Hey, get the hell out of here. I don't want to shake your hand because you're corrupt. You're only here. You're only here because you want to vote because you know that the city election's coming up. So you're here shaking my hand. Okay. But no, thank you. You know what I'm saying? No, thank you. Many people are giving up voting because, and I've seen a lot of people move out of here, and people were moving. Know why? Because the city looks like hell. Okay, and they want to bring tourism in here. Good luck with that, because people that walk through here, okay, you know, the people that come in here, they're gonna take one look at this city. They're gonna be like, "Boop, I'm out of here." Okay, they're gonna say, "I don't want to be here." People are moving to other places. Okay, like Texas, Florida, and everything else and stuff. No, why? Because this city looks trashy. Okay, it is trash. Okay, all right, it is. And you know something? And it's funny that I'm the only one, okay, that's fighting for what, to have a clean city and a safe city to live in for my future, for my grandkids, my granddaughter, okay, my grandsons, okay, deserve to have a city to look, awesome, and to have places to go, okay, not a trashy city, okay. This is filth. That's what this is, and shame on all of you except for Chris Peckham. Okay, shame on you. Okay, shame on you. Shame on Canuel for passing that 29.8 million on Bishop Connolly. Okay, when that money could have went for this and some for the Bank Street Armory. Okay, shame on you. Okay, shame, shame, shame. Okay, you know, thinking that, well, so the school, the Bishop Conley is going to solve all our problems, okay, and fix the infrastructure in our area, right? But you guys focus so much on the waterfront, and nothing, and you know something, nothing's going on up here. Shame on all of you, okay, except for Chris, because Chris tries his best, and I appreciate, and I appreciate Chris Peckham trying his best. Okay, you know, you guys, you guys ought to be. Some of you city councilors over there should be ashamed of yourselves. Okay, ashamed, knowing that representation. Chris Peckham is the only one that represents us. Okay, well, he has to represent us up here in the Flint area, because that's what he does. He covers the Flint area, so he does represent us up here, and I'm very grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we ask a question, when I ask a question, or my wife asks a question, or people ask a question to Chris answers them. Okay, he does, and you know something, and I'll tell you, I'm not gonna say, he's perfect. He's not, but he answers our question, and you know something, he doesn't avoid our question. And Pat Casey was the city councilor. Pat Casey would answer our questions, and I know for a fact she would. Okay, because it was proven. But I don't know if Pat Casey's still around, so I don't even know. And Leo Pelletier, yeah, when you talk to him, he'll answer your question, all right. As long as you get a what do you call it? I don't even know if he's still around. Okay, if he was a city councilor, he'd answer our question. He would never he would never let this stuff go. Okay, and he would never approve 29.8 million. Okay, he would say no to that. Okay, he would deny that. Denied request denied. And other people are going on there. Oh, we need money. We need this. We need that. You know what? Our infrastructure needs to be fixed. Okay. That's what it needs. Our infrastructure needs to be fixed. Okay, because this is all a public safety hazard. Okay, and that's what it is. So, but anyways, let's see if I have any more to talk about for Fall River. See if I have anything bad about to talk about Fall River. I don't like to talk bad about my city. Okay, I really don't. Um, I don't. Okay, and this is Quikasham Street right here. Okay, this is Quikasham Street. Okay, look at that pot, that metal piece sticking up over there. God forbid somebody walks by that. Okay, and falls down. Okay, and has that metal piece stick right in their leg. And how's the city gonna be paying for hospital bills when they get sued? Look at that hole over there, right there. Somebody walks across the street, a wheelchair or something, tips over or something, and oncoming traffic, right? So tell me, uh, and how's the city going to feel then when they have to pay hospital bills and they're getting sued? Okay, well, because it's on them. Because look at, I mean, you got a hole there. I think it's deep. I saw it. Okay, and somebody walks across, or a wheelchair, handicap or something, comes across the street, or a bike or somebody with a kid on it is riding down the street, and he didn't see that, and he hits that thing, and he flies right over the handlebars. How do you think the parents are going to feel? The parents are going to sue the shit out of the city. That's what's going to happen. Okay, so that's why right now we are all getting on you're getting on your butts, getting on yous to fix all this infrastructure and all. Okay, and and you know something, I'm not going to stop posting pictures, because once I get to Wade Street tomorrow, okay, I'm going to have enough time for school. I'm going to have enough time to go to work, and I'll be going live right over there, and I'll be showing you the infrastructure over there. It's pretty bad over there next to my mother. Okay, it's my mother's house. And matter of fact, my mother was walking across the street over there. She almost fell. Okay, inside of a deep pothole. Okay, and my mom's 80 years old. Okay, and yeah, and let me tell you something. Okay, and the city of Fall River deserves to be sued. Okay, because you know what? That'll teach you guys. Okay, that will teach you guys. You know, to do the job the way the job's supposed to be done. Okay, because it's sad. It's this is disgusting. Okay, and people has been saying it. It's disgusting. Okay, my mom almost fell the other day. Okay, and she almost twisted her ankle because of the pothole on Waite Street. That whole entire infrastructure over there is totally uh, gone. Okay, and oh, we're getting sued all the time. Well, you guys deserve to be sued, because know why? Because you don't follow instructions. Okay, you don't listen to the taxpayers when the taxpayers tell you. Okay, what's going on? Oh, you should tell us. Well, we're telling you. You should listen to us. We're out there. We know what's going on. And it's sad because we feel like we don't get any representation. The only city council that I know that I get a representation from is from Chris Peckham. Okay, we don't get any other representation. Okay, and I'm glad Chris listens to us, and because he's like, oh geez, and taxpayers know. What I'm saying? The people out there see it. They know. Okay, they know. That's why this is why we send pictures all the time. This is why we post them, so you guys can take a look at them, and say, hey, well, taxpayers are right, and we are. what are we going to do about this? Okay, we can't worry about Bishop Connolly High School with the 29.8 million. So we have to take some of that money and we have to fix the infrastructure, and whatever's left, then we can pour it into the Bank Street Armory. You know what I'm saying? You guys got to take care of the most important. And I've been saying this for God knows how long. Okay? Even the time that I ran, I've been saying this. Infrastructure, public safety needs to come first. And thank God for Chris Peckham getting back into the public safety. Okay? Thank God for him. Okay? Thank God for him. Okay? We talked about the fire station. I show some pictures of the fire station a lot of times. Okay? I've showed a lot of things. Why is some of them city councilors are not taking things, like for okay, well, why ain't they taking the pictures serious? You know what I'm saying? Why ain't they? You know what I'm saying? Well, we have to listen to the city council. We have to listen to the taxpayers. So yeah, well, you do have to listen to us, because you know why? Because we're the ones that pay your salary. Without us, your salary ain't nothing. Okay. So, but anyway, see what else is I could talk about. There's probably plenty others anyway. Let's see what's going on in Fall River. That's my e-bike. No, we have to, and well, there is things that, people say, you know what I'm saying? People talk about, okay? You know, and I'm not going to post videos up there because I don't want my YouTube to get shut down. So, but guys got to get out there and vote, and, and do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is I'm sure you guys seen this. I'm sure you guys seen this right here. I took a video. I actually basically took a video of that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure you guys seen that too. You know. There is streets around here that have potholes. You know. FBI teams are searching for around Route 88 in Westport. Yeah. You see this? I'll take a look at this a bit. An FBI team is searching for around Route 88 in Westport on Wednesday. That was June 3rd. I don't even know if they found whoever they were. I don't know. I don't even know if they found whoever they were looking for. So maybe, So I don't even know. They're looking for somebody. Somebody got hit around Westport, around Route 88, and I don't even know. I haven't heard any more about that. You know. So yeah. So this is a form that I use, a public safety community checklist. Okay. So when I go out and do the audit, when I do the public safety audit, okay, this is what I do right here. So this is what I use right here. And and when I do this, this. I write it down, and I'm like, okay, well, this street is in bad condition, and so I'm gonna take a picture of this, and I'm gonna post that up there. So that's a checklist, okay, that I have. I have a bunch of them, and I write in. I write I check off and write daily reports, the traffic flow and everything, and to see, to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I see people talking on the phones and stuff, and yeah, I tell them get off the phone. I said pay attention to the road. You know what I'm saying? Because that is a public safety hazard. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay attention to the road. So if you see me out there, yeah, I'm probably not going to say anything to you, and just make sure I get your number plate, and then get a full picture of you, talking on your phone. So that way, it'll teach you not to talk on the phone anymore. Okay, you know, um, and you know what it is to not talk on the phone and use and use hands free. I don't care who you are, cop, judge. You're not supposed to talk on the phone. Pull over and talk on the phone. Um, and yes, and this is my public safety thing. Okay. Yes, it thing. Of course, I made it out of AI. Of course. Look at that. I'm even gonna take a picture of that. Man. That thing looks beautiful, man. I love it. Oh, that thing looks marvelous. I love it. Oh yes, I do. Yes, that is great. I'm not gonna say otherwise, but I mean it is. It's great. You know, you know. I have other things up there. Let's see what else is going on. See this street right there? This is bad right here. Okay, and I've been saying this. And there's been accidents over there. Okay, I remember that accident happening. Okay, and yeah, but we do need cameras for that side over there. Those lights ain't gonna those little fashion yellow lights ain't doing nothing. Okay, um, maybe we can put a camera right there. You know what I'm saying? On a pole or something over there, and put a camera right there on the pole, and so that way this corner right here can be watched. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a bad corner. Okay, it is. Okay, people pull out of here all the time, and this is what I wanted to show Christopher Peckham. But I'm sure that he'll actually see it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and come up with some ideas on what is going on. You know what I'm saying? So things like that. So, but anyways, I have to go now. And but I will be on Wednesday, and I will be talking a little bit about more. I can't say for sure that the guy is guilty of that double murder, because right now he's just being held without bail. Yeah, so that was a gruesome thing. Two people, man. Wow. Yeah, that was gruesome. And so because the police right now are checking out, they're investigating, and they are checking out the cameras and stuff, and we'll see. Okay, so but hey, take care, everybody. Have a great night, and I will be on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Time has changed because of the summer hours. So because I want to go out during the day, so and then have something to do during the night. So summer hours, it's 3 o'clock. Then fall hours, I'll be going back to uh, uh, to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, but hey, take care, everybody. Have a great one, and thanks for everybody, thanks for watching and stuff. And you know, when I talk about things like public safety, I'm serious about it. So, and I hope you guys do the same. Be serious about it. Okay. So take care, everybody. Have a great one. This is Dave B. Barber of MIILION News. Have a great night, everyone.